Hi and welcome to ELLY-B Automotive. In this video, I'll be talking on the basic knowledge of an internal combustion vehicle engine. So what is an internal combustion engine? An internal combustion engine is an engine which generates its own motive power by burning of fuel with air within the combustion chamber of the engine to generate hot gases, which expands and is used to push the piston downward, which enables the crankshaft to rotate. So that is one of the process for uh, an internal combustion engine. There are three different types of internal combustion engine. The first one is the two-stroke internal combustion engine. The second is the spark ignition gasoline engine, which is also known as a four-stroke petrol engine. And the third one is the compressed ignition diesel engine, which is also known as a four-stroke diesel engine. So now I'll be talking on the spark ignited or spark ignition gasoline engine, which is talking about the four-stroke uh, petrol engine. So a spark ignited uh, gasoline engine is an engine which carry out the fuel to air mixture within the combustion chamber, and this air and fuel is being compressed and ignited with the help of a spark plug. So the spark plug is the one that creates the heat which is used to burn the fuel and air and create that expansion which enables the piston to push downwards. So that is just a simple illustration or explanation of the spark ignition gasoline engine. And this is usually done with the help of petrol injected into the engine and mixed with air and being ignited with the help of the spark plug. So that is a spark ignition gasoline engine, four stroke petrol engine. There are different parts of the internal combustion engine which enables that combustion cycle to be completed and which enables the rotation of the engine. So these parts are as follows: exhaust camshaft, exhaust valve bucket, spark plug, intake valve bucket, intake camshaft, exhaust valve, intake valve, cylinder head, piston, piston pin, connecting rod, engine block, crankshaft, electronics injector valve, top dead center, bottom dead center. So that is a list of the types of parts that's present in the engine, which enables the uh, combustion process and rotation of the engine. So now I'll be listing the parts of the moving parts, the parts in the engine that moves during the combustion process. Camshaft sprocket, piston, crankshaft, connecting rod, valves, valve bucket, valve spring, and camshaft. So all these parts that I've just mentioned, they are the parts which moves when the engine combustion process is in operation. There are four cycles of an internal combustion engine, or in an internal combustion engine process. The first one, number one, is the intake stroke. Number two is the compression stroke. Number three is the expansion stroke. And number four is the exhaust stroke. Yeah, number one is intake stroke. Number two is compression stroke. While number three is power stroke. And number four is exhaust stroke. It is a continuous process inside the engine. So combustion process or internal combustion engine carry out this continuous cycle to keep the engine running. And now let's talk about the intake stroke, which is the first stroke for an internal combustion engine. For the intake stroke, the piston is positioned on the top dead center, which is top part of the cylinder. At that position, when the piston start moving from the top dead center to the bottom, the intake valve is open so that air can be dragged into the combustion chamber, and the injector immediately injects fuel into the combustion chamber, and we have mixture of fuel and air. So at that level, the piston moves down to the bottom dead center where the intake stroke is completed. The second stroke is the compression stroke. At the compression stroke, the piston begins to move from the bottom dead center to the top dead center. And in that process, both the exhaust valve and the intake valve are in close position, and there is an increase in pressure within the combustion chamber above the piston head. So when the piston is moving upwards, there is a compression of the air and fuel mixture, which when it gets up to the top dead center, that is the end of the compression stroke. The third stroke is the power stroke. On the power stroke, the piston is on at the top dead center. But at this stroke, both the exhaust valve and the intake valve are also in close position. But what happened in this stroke is that the spark plug generates spark, which burn the air and fuel mixture and cause the piston to be pushed downward from the top dead center down to the bottom dead center, and which this is the energy stroke, or you call it the power stroke. In this stroke, this is the only stroke among the four strokes which I'm going to be mentioning that generates energy, mechanical energy. The fourth stroke, which is the exhaust stroke, the piston is at the bottom dead center, and the burnt gases are within the combustion chamber above the piston head. Then as the piston is moving upwards, the intake valve is in close position, while the exhaust valve is in open position. And these gases, heated gases or burnt gases, are expelled from the combustion chamber through the exhaust valve down to the exhaust pipe and down to the atmosphere. So this is the last stroke for the first stroke internal combustion engine. Among all the four strokes, it is only the power stroke that generates mechanical energy. All other strokes consumes energy. So this means that one complete engine cycle is two rotation of the crankshaft, which is the crankshafts have to rotate 360-degree twice, which is a total of 720 degree to have a complete engine cycle for the first stroke engine. So this is how an internal combustion engine, a spark ignited gasoline engine, works. I hope this little explanation has helped you. Please feel free to make comments. If you have any question for more detailed explanation, just drop it on the comment section. I will respond. Please subscribe to this channel, hit the notification button so that whenever I release any new video, you get it. Thanks for watching.